Listen to this episode if you want my predictions of what in 2026 is going to be hot, necessary, out, and needed in your product-based business. I do this every year. It's a fun tradition we do here on this podcast. It's some of your favorite episodes, and truly, every single year, it's one of the most downloaded episodes that we have. And if I do say so myself, my predictions and my trends that I see throughout the year are usually right. I am somebody that is obsessed with industries, trends, consumers, product space. I am constantly looking at the trend reports. I'm constantly looking at what we think is going to be the next big thing in business. And today we are going to talk about in 2026, what I see as my biggest predictions of the year. This is actually a step 3 of a 3-part series of planning for 2026. You don't have to listen to step 1 and step 2 to understand what this is. This is basically us going forward with what the tangible tactics and strategies are to basically execute your 2026 planning, making sure you have that, as well as what the consumer demands. Step 1 was all talking about what the 2026 consumer is all about. Step 2 is talking about how do we actually annual plan. And step 3 is going to be about making sure you have these pieces in your plan moving forward. Again, I study this stuff. I love it. I nerd out on it. If you ever want to talk about a trend, if you ever think something is coming in, going out, whatever that might be, you know my DMs are always open. I absolutely adore this stuff. If you're new here, my name is Madison Page. Just want to take 10 quick seconds to say hello. I am a business growth specialist. I work with product-based business owners to help them become the next industry leader in their industry, disruptive brands, really bringing a startup all the way into fruition and into that acquisition or whatever it really looks like for them. And so I live and breathe product-based business. I truly am in it all day long. I see the behind the scenes of some of your favorite brands all the time. I see what they're planning for 2026 and 2027 already. I am talking to very successful people all of the time with their business. And so all of them are also really nerding out on these things. So I get a little bit of an inside scoop. And so I want you to know it as well. No matter what kind of business you have, this is going to be really helpful for you. If you listen to step 1, you might have a little bit of an inkling of what some of these things that we are going to talk about today, but I'm really excited about it. I do just want to let everybody know we do have a really exciting announcement coming on the next episode and on January 2nd. So make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast, that you can see that, because if you're not subscribed, as a little hint, you might not be able to find us. And so make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. And we put out new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. We have a lot planned for 2026. So make sure that you are subscribed. First things first is that influencers will take a major hit in 2026. We have already been seeing this a little bit over the last 2 years, is that the ROI for influencers has been down. People really want real people, not this like aspirational nothingness that some of these influencers are giving us right now. And so I don't think influencers are going away anytime soon. We're still always going to have these people that have followings that we look up to, but I do think their ROI from a marketing perspective is going to go down quite a bit. We see this year over year, this kind of happening. Many brands are starting to basically move more to like a UGC style where they really just want real people opening it up, where they can then use those videos for ads. They can use those videos in other areas, or only the really big brands, because the influencer rates have gotten really, really high, which get your bag, girl, I'm all there for you. But the influencer rates have gotten really high. So a lot of people can no longer stomach basically or afford to pay influencers, as well as the consumer is sick of being sold to. We now, anytime an influencer is using a product, I assume that they are being told to tell us what they think about that product. We are very skeptical as consumers now. And so influencer marketing, we've already seen this. Brand deals are going down. The amount of people that actually really want to put money into influencer marketing is going down unless they're really late into the game of things. So there's a lot of other things that people can do instead of using influencers. A big indication that this is coming is that many influencers are starting brands and starting to branch out into other revenue streams. This is why every influencer has a podcast. This is why every influencer is throwing out a pajama line that doesn't align with their brand at all. But I think in 2026, we will see many influencers starting brands, starting other ventures, trying to supplement their income because their income is going down as an influencer, but yet they quit their 9 to 5 and they've been content creating now for a few years full time. I have already seen this through the holidays of many influencers taking on as many brand deals as possible, trying to sell from every angle, and already starting to say that they have some big projects going on in 2026. And that is going to be because their budgets or their influencer budgets have gone down from the brand perspective, as well as they are making less money. We've seen this the last couple of years, and I think it's going to continue. This second one I could make 6 episodes on, but AI is going to run this year. If I were to give 2026 a word prediction, it would be the year of technology. We have so much technology that's going to happen in AI. Honestly, it's hard for me to even fathom where we will be with AI in 12 months. Look at the last 12 months where ChatGPT has come from, where the content creation with AI has come from, with, creating photos, creating videos, creating brands, creating full websites in seconds with AI. Think of where we're going to be in 12 months from now. It's actually unfathomable unless you're really deep into the AI world. If you have not adapted or you are unwilling, you will be left behind in the efficiency game in 2026. AI is going to absolutely explode. It's going to be everywhere. Lot is going to change. It's going to lower the barrier of entry into new businesses because people can create product photos at a whim with like a full gallery. People can do all sorts of things, and they're starting to look a lot more realistic. For a little while there, it was kind of sloppy, right? You could tell someone had 7 fingers. It just wasn't great. Things are starting to get a little bit more realistic. So no matter how you feel about AI and its environmental impacts and it's all of these other things, it doesn't matter. As a business owner, if you aren't using AI to improve your efficiency, you will fall behind in 2026. If we think about all of these things that are going to change, automations, ease of doing anything, information at our fingertips, accountability behind, AI is going to increase as well. We're going to start to demand more out of our AIs. Even cybersecurity is going to be crazy from a customer perspective and just from a person perspective. I don't know about you, but these scammers are starting to look a lot more realistic because they can just use AI. There's not as many, typos and grammar issues. Even hiring, I think where there's going to be a huge change in the workplace. I know people in my personal life that have been laid off already because AI took their job. That is going to be a major change as well. The only way that we can build job security is building our own business right now, where we are the leader and, the creative behind everything that we're doing. When researching what is going to be trending in 2026, what is going to be new in 2026, what are consumer trends in 2026, literally 90% of the things are AI. When I looked at a list, it was Consumer Reports or something like that. It was like the 20 things every business owner is going to need in 2026. Probably 17 of them were AI, understanding AI of this, understanding AI with this, understanding AI with that. And so, the pendulum is going to swing. I think a lot of people think it's going to literally destroy the world. And I think a lot of people are saying, it's going to be no big deal. Of course, it's going to be somewhere in between, but no matter what, it's going to change the way the world works. We look at the internet, kind of the web 1.0, when the internet came out. How much did that change the world? And that's a 1/10 of the change that AI can really do moving forward. So AI is going to be a really major change in 2026. And it's hard to even predict what will happen there. But I think we will see a major change in a couple of areas, but basically the efficiency game. Right now, AI can help us with efficiency, but you kind of have to be in the nitty gritty of AI for it to do more than just use ChatGPT. If you're just using ChatGPT, that is not the extent of what AI can do. But AI is going to really lower the barrier of entry into everything. It's going to take a lot of jobs. It's going to, make everything a little bit more automated. One thing that we really have to look at though with AI is uniqueness, because with AI booming, another thing that is going to change is the consumer. We talk a lot about this in step 1, which was 2 episodes ago, is that it's going to make the customer crave more human. It's going to make the customer crave more connection because everything is going to feel very robotic. Everything is going to, we all know when something is AI at this point. We know when we call somebody and it's an automated software. We know when we're talking to a chatbot and it's AI. People are going to crave human connection. People are going to crave vulnerability. People are going to crave emotion. People are going to crave that community-driven approach, that uniqueness, because also as AI goes up, you hear me say that AI is going to help with efficiency. Right now, at least, AI cannot be overly creative because what it's doing is it's scrubbing what's out there and it's just regurgitating it back to you. And so the people that are going to stand out in 2026 are going to be utilizing AI for efficiency, but using their own brain for the creativity, the uniqueness, and the strategy moving forward. Because what's going to happen is everybody is going to be just doing what ChatGPT says. I've already seen this with many people. Their brand starts to get cold. Your brand, your marketing starts to feel boring is because you're just whipping out hooks that AI is telling you to do. Where is AI getting those hooks? They're just getting those hooks from other people on Instagram that are creating it 6 months ago, and it's outdated, it's been done, and it's boring. And so in 2026, we're going to have to constantly be balancing this automation with AI, really making sure that we're utilizing AI, but also making sure we are maintaining the human first approach to our business. If you lose the human first approach to your business, you are going to suck all of the connection out of it. And what are we learning with that step 1 episode is that consumers are already asking for more connection, more value, more personability behind your brand. So if you fully go AI with your marketing, with your sales, with your website copy, with all of these things that are what make you actually unique, you are just going to end up sounding like everybody else, sounding robotic, and not actually having this connection-driven approach that the consumer cares about. So that's why I did step 1, because step 1 is about what does the customer say that they are requiring going into 2026. We could say that as a strategy, we would love for AI to be the head of everything and just take over the world, right? We could say that, but does the customer want that? No. So we have to be very strategic with how we are utilizing AI, how we actually have AI into our strategies, and how we're actually keeping our uniqueness, our creativity, and our differentiator really close to our hearts. How are we still connecting with our community? Because as the world gets more driven into AI and robots and automation, the consumer and the everyday person and society in general is going to be pushed and pushed and pushed deeper into craving connection, into feeling lonely. And so we are going to have to be balancing this as business owners more than ever before. And we're going to dive more into this because that is a topic that I am really excited to talk about. Hey, I'm jumping in here for 30 quick seconds for those of you listening and thinking, all right, but how do I actually apply this to my business? Every week here, I share strategies, case studies, growth mistakes to avoid, but your business growth is nuanced. So your business support has to be nuanced as well. That's why all of my support includes me inside of your business, your ideas, your launches, your content, perfecting what you're already building and uncovering your hidden opportunities to scale. This isn't a cookie cutter course. It's a high level personalized support system to help you optimize your brand, your strategy, and every single person your business touches. If you want my eyes and my brain on your branding, your sales, your marketing, and your overall growth plan, click the link in the show notes to apply. Let's see what we can build together. The next major thing that we are going to have to focus on is D2C. D2C is going to win in 2026. Why that is, and what I mean by D2C, is people going through your socials and onto your website and purchasing directly from you. Why we're saying this is because we consistently see retail going down and down and down. I see retail in 2026 really transitioning into experiential retail, almost like an influencer event where people are utilizing their retail as a marketing strategy, as let's take photos, as almost like a little mini pop-up, as an event that they want people to feel. It's like an immersive experience. is what these retail ventures are going to come out to be. Why? Is because retail sales are down year over year. People that want to shop in person are down year over year. Retail, just like overall happiness, even the retail hiring is down year over year. Retail is going to continue to dwindle. I'm a gal. I love to shop in person. I'm sad to hear this, but it's going to happen. And they will turn into these like immersive experiences to basically nurture your community, to have a touch point with the brand, which is more of like a marketing strategy really than a true sales strategy. Yes, they're going to make sales, but the demand that we can have online, the frequency we can have online of purchases is not going to be able to withstand what we can do in person anymore, because people just don't really want to shop online. Again, going back to what the customer really wants. These alternative sales channels, people keep getting more and more unpredictable, more and more saturated, more and more untrustworthy, that customers will want to purchase direct to consumer. I don't know about you, but I have been duped by some brands out there on Amazon, on Etsy, that just ended up being a drop shipping website, but I thought I was getting something from a cute little small business. And so what people are going to do is they're going to care more about your social media to make sure that they're actually supporting it. That's what's happening a lot on Etsy. It's what's happening a lot on Amazon. It's what's happening on Faire, is that all of these people, again, because it's getting a lot easier to make products, because the barrier to entry is a lot lower because of all of the information we have out there and AI and all of that, is that there's a lot of brands just trying to capitalize on it. And so they can whip up a brand, they can whip up a product, they can whip up product photos that look really cute and like wholesome really easily. But then you get your product and you're like, oh, this was totally fake. This was absolutely not the piece of the puzzle here. So if wholesale is going down with retail, if Etsy is going down in trustworthiness, if Amazon is going down in profit and unpredictability with all of these pieces and trustworthiness, what people are going to care about is trust. Again, going back to that step one, we talked a lot about how customers are skeptical now. We have built a society of skeptical shoppers. And so what do we have to do is we have to instill more trust. They're going to try to go directly to the person. And so your direct to consumer channels is what's going to win. This means organic social media, really important. Your website, really important. Your community and how we can actually integrate them for retention, very important. D2C is going to win and really come back in 2026. Because I think for a long time there, people were trying to diversify their sales channels into going into all of these other areas, but all of those other areas are actually just diluting them, making their profits go down, as well as they're just not seen as trustworthy now anymore. Another major one, as always, is this value and mission-driven brands are going to win. People are voting with their dollars now. And we talked about this in step one. It's not just politics, but it's values. Some of the biggest values that we see going into 2026 are going to be sustainability, environmental impact, health, and wellness are at a rise of actual requirements of brands. So depending on what business you have, if you're clothing, that might be having more options that are 100% cotton. People are waking up to this overconsumption, having a ton of things. A lot of people want a few really great products. They want a few things that are organic. They want, a few things that might be more expensive, but if they feel like supporting that brand is more value centered to what it means to be about what their identity really turns into, if they're shopping from you, you also have to really lean into that. The next thing that I think is going to really change in 2026 is I think there's going to be a new major platform or a new major strategy, something that we think about. Look at the last 5 years, there's been a lot of new things. There was TikTok, and then there was Reels. And then there was influencers, and there's TikTok Shop, and there's going live on TikTok. There's all of these other things that kind of popped up, and it was like, this is what you have to do. We constantly had a new North Star. In 2025, we didn't really have one. And it's because the world is changing so much that we're still kind of adjusting to this AI-driven world. So in 2026, I don't know if it's going to be a new platform. We thought TikTok was going to get banned. I had said all along, there's no way that's going to happen. It drives way too much consumer spending. When we look at this, we're either going to have a new platform, we're going to have a new strategy of some kind. We're kind of just waiting on that new North Star. And I think this is why a lot of people looking back at 2025 felt a little lost as to what to do, is because they constantly had this new bright and shiny thing that they were chasing. And I think it's why people settled into using AI so much, is because that's what felt like the new bright and shiny thing. But what we are really looking at is moving forward, we're due for something that's going to absolutely change the market. And that might just be AI. That might be, we can utilize AI for these things, for this efficiency, and that's what it comes out. But I know that there's going to be a new North Star of some kind of this is what we're trying to get on. So when we really look at this list, I think influencers will take a hit. Many influencers are going to start brands and they're going to be unsuccessful because influencers are not actual true business owners. Not all of them. Some of them are really, really smart, but not all of them unless they have brand people behind them, unless they have, business brains behind them. We've already seen many influencers start brands that just don't take off. And then we also see some influencers start brands that really take off. We will see a lot more UGC native content, basically meaning normal people that are seemingly opening up a product, but it is staged and it's basically a video that makes people feel like they're on FaceTime with you. AI is going to change the world, no doubt about it. I'm excited about it. I'm a little nervous about it. I think as everybody should have a healthy skepticism, but it's something that we have to adapt. And if you're not willing to adapt, you're going to be left behind because the efficiency of people that are adapting is just going to be unmatched. I think D2C will win and retail will continuously go down moving into the new year. Basically, people just don't want to shop in person. It's so much easier to sit on your couch in your PJs, which is so funny because then we also say that we're alone and we're lonely and we're bored and we're like trapped in our house all the time. But yet, retail is going down, which is why I think people are going to start utilizing retail as immersive experiences. We're going to start making them more kind of like influencer events, but for normal day-to-day people. People want unique and connection because of this rise of AI, your uniqueness, your creativity, and how much you are willing to put your stake in the ground that you are different than the other people in your industry and that you are consistently adapting and evolving and creating new things is going to be paramount in 2026. If you are somebody that has coasted by off of the coattails of inspiration of other people, you are about to be overtaken by AI. Why that is because AI is out there regurgitating all of that same information over and over and over again to everybody trying to do something in 2026. I've already seen it. You come to me and I can tell right away that your marketing is completely under an AI marketing software right now. I can tell that your caption was written with AI without the M dashes, okay? I can tell that your hooks are written by AI. I can tell that what you're doing is just cheesy, right? And so what we really care about here moving forward is going to be the customer demands uniqueness, demands personal connection. You have to separate yourself, otherwise you're going to be left behind. This also goes back to that value and that mission-driven brands are going to win because again, as the world gets more automated, the customer is going to want more connection. So we're going to have to really, really balance those things. And then I hope that there's a new platform, new major strategy, something really fun that's new and up and coming that we can talk about. Overall, if I were to look at like a North Star for the year, if I were to give the year word, it would be the year of technology. We will look back at this episode this time next year and really say, holy cow, I can't even believe where she's at. I can't even believe the cameras they're using, or I bought a new camera and it's AI powered camera that's going to continuously develop into all of the new AI stuff. What does that mean? Am I going to look gorgeous like a supermodel? Maybe they'll have filters and they'll make me look gorgeous. Don't worry, I won't use them, but maybe I could if I wanted to. There's going to be so much to come in this next year with technology. And those that are hesitant to adapt to it, to test it out, to have fun with it, to play with it, are going to be left behind. I know people don't love AI for the environmental impacts, for all of these other things, but for a business owner, it is a massive tool that you will be left behind if you're not doing it. You can already look at all of these big businesses. If you talk to anybody working in big time corporate companies, they have AI bots personally inside. They are utilizing AI. I talk to people that are in these really successful businesses and they are utilizing AI all day, every day. Why? Because it makes them able to do 10 times what they were able to do a year ago. Sometimes, people won't even have to do photo shoots if you don't want to, as AI continues to get better. And so it's going to take out, we'll be able to just put a prompt in and be like, make product photos of this with these types of people that feel this way, and it's going to pop them out. And so it's going to be, we can reproduce and we can get stuff out there, but it's also going to mean that the customer really craves personal, authentic, organic, native connection. So what we need to do is we are going to need to balance it. 2026 is going to be the year of balancing automation and technology and connection and personalization in your business. And if you are somebody out there saying, Maddie, I don't want to do either one of those things, seriously, you have to reflect on what your goals truly are. If you're saying, I don't want to be the face of my brand, I don't want to have a face, I don't want to have any connection, I don't really have a mission, I don't really have these deeper values, I don't want to share my values, but you're also saying, I don't want to use AI, this technology is really scary and it's going to ruin everything. If you are doing those two things, if you are saying both of those two things, I'm sorry, I'm lovingly giving you this nudge, you will be left behind in 2026. We have to adapt as business owners, as a society in general. As a business owner, we have to stay on the up and up of the new things coming out. If you don't, you're just on the laggards and everybody else is going to do it and you will be left behind. Pick one, but I hope you pick both of community building and AI. Community building and creativity is what's going to consistently separate you, set you apart, build community, build retention. AI is what's going to build efficiency and growth and allow for you to keep pushing forward. AI can't provide the creativity. It can't provide human connection. It can't provide the values, the personality, yet at least. And so you have to do both of these things. We must balance getting left behind from efficiency and constantly pursuing uniqueness. You have to be really solid on what you're building. What is the vibe you want? What is the feeling you want? What is the community you want? So we can consistently build this connection, this value-driven approach behind everything that we're doing. But we also have to be able to say we need efficiency. AI is the home of your efficiency, and you, your brain, and your team is the home of your creativity. We need both. AI alone cannot solve your strategy. I can tell you right now, when I have people come to me and say, this is my strategy, I can tell you right now that it's AI generated. I can tell you immediately. I ask you one question and you don't know the answer to it. It's because AI generated your plan. AI cannot generate your plan. There's things that AI is really good at and there's things that AI really isn't good at. I'm trying to get an AI specialist to come on the podcast. I think that would be a really good episode. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. There's so much more to come with this. I want to hear your predictions and your ideas moving forward. I want to hear how you feel about AI, how you're feeling about some of these changes. As always, we talk in our podcast community. It's completely free. It's a small business cafe. Please feel free to join us there. You can click the link in the show notes. There is a big announcement coming on Friday. And so just keep an eye out for that. Again, subscribe so you don't lose us. As a little hint, please subscribe to the podcast so you can still find us and we can go from there. I hope this was fun. I hope this was helpful. I love these conversations. If you want more of me just talking about case studies and what's happening in the world and what the consumer behavior is changing and how things are going, please let me know. When you reach out and you tell me which episodes you really love, what your questions are, if you have a suggestion, it always helps me be able to better create this podcast for you. In 2025, we were a top 2% Spotify podcast on our Spotify Wrapped. We were a top 1% in shared, in listened, in referred, in downloaded, in active community audience. And so thank you guys so much for being here. This has been an incredible year. This podcast has seen so much growth. We have 400 plus episodes. We have 350 plus thousand downloads. I am so glad that you guys are here and there's a lot to come in 2026. So make sure that you stick around. Still only 50% of you are subscribed. No big deal. I'm not butthurt about it. Maybe a little bit. Subscribe to the dang podcast. You'll get notified when we put podcast episodes out. Come DM me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. If you are looking for support in 2026 in your business, you can DM me support and we can talk about what those options are. Otherwise, you can DM me connect and I would love to hop on a call and give you a complimentary business audit. Me to you. Would love to have that conversation. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I'm in your corner always. And I will see you in 2026 in the new episode with a big announcement. Talk soon. If you found today's episode helpful and are looking for more tangible ways to grow your business, make sure you are subscribed to the show. If you want to dive deeper into this topic more, click the link in the show notes and join our completely free podcast community where we dive into every single podcast topic, as well as give some bonus support and free coaching calls. And finally, if you are interested in getting my eyes on your business to find your hidden opportunities to scale, apply to work with me one-on-one in the show notes or on our website. Remember, it's not enough to listen. Don't forget to implement too. I love ya. I'll see you in the next episode.